Welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included, everybody. I had recorded the majority of a new episode, and then due to a game crash, I lost about 9 cycles worth of progress that we had finished. So what I have done is I went back and I changed our autosave settings back to every 1 cycle. We had changed it to 10 because on the original colony we were at the point where we were playing through much faster, so the autosave happening every couple of minutes was very disruptive. But now we're going to be playing much slower as we get this colony set up, so for now we're going to change it back to every 1 cycle so we don't have the issue again. But it does unfortunately mean that we need to play through the first few steps on this colony over again. Can't be helped. So at the moment, I have Chrono digging up to get to our supply teleporter output. I'm not sure where Supply is located. Is he digging up here somewhere? He's digging out our collection for polluted water here. I do know that we are going to have to work our way through an area of hard digging here, so I'm going to give Sai the hard digging trait so that he can get through there. I think we just need the first level. Our primary goal is to get this ladder built up here so that we can get to this supply teleporter output and activate it and connect a vent to it. While the duplicates are working on digging that out, let's see. So this says we need super hard digging. So let's go back to Sai. So Sai has the ability to do that. We're pushing his morale a little bit because he has a lot of extra things that we don't need. So after we get set up, we will do a skill scrub to get him the skills that he needs for the new colony. Since we're not going to be doing ranching on this colony, or at least not right away, we can remove that and help out with his morale. But so what we're going to do while they are finishing their digging is we're going to be laying out the pipes that we need to bring the oxygen back to our colony. So we're just going to run it for now. We're just going to run it like this. And we'll put an output right in here. We're going to check in on our other colony while we wait for that to get finished. Everything here is going solidly. We don't need to worry about too much. We do need to make a few minor changes, but we'll get to those in a little while. What I do want to set up here is we're going to put some power over here to the supply teleporter output. Or input, I'm sorry. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to feed some power over to the new base to get it started. And we want to be able to feed some items over so that we can get steel and plastics and those types of things. So what we need to do is connect this up to power. Still running through the ladder. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up just a little temporary storage here, and I'm going to put a auto sweeper above it, so we'll get power to that as well. So what we would do is we'll set up storage bins here And then when we want to send items over to the new colony, we can just get the duplicates to bring them down here. And then we can use the auto sweeper to put them through when we need them. So I'm actually going to set up a refrigerator as well, because we're going to bring down a few calories of food for our duplicates on the other side. So once this is set up, we'll be able to fill these bins up with what we need and then transfer them over to our new colonists. We're almost through to the new area, to the supply teleporter output, which we'll still need to activate. So our goal is to get some steel and some plastic brought through, because we're going to be setting up a little power station on this side. We're also going to temporarily send us through some coal so that we can get some power set up while we're getting things set up. What we did discover is that down here we have a natural gas geyser, so that pretty much solves our power problems. Here we'll set up a system to collect the gas from that, and we will set up some storage so that we can have some power being produced here on this new colony. So I'm going to let the duplicates go ahead and finish doing all these builds, and we'll get a path down to the geyser and get some items over here so that we can do some building. And we'll come back once we have all that set up. Okay, we've gotten our gas pipes all set up, and Sai has the needed skills to unlock this teleporter. So now we are connected to our main base, and we have oxygen being pumped out. Going to feed all the way down to the base and keep our main area well oxygenated for the foreseeable future. So we do not need to worry about setting up oxygen production on Gurgani for the time being. We will eventually set up its own production, but for now this setup will be just fine. I'm going to remove this tile so that we can have some gas flow exchange, because right now everything is over pressurized. That'll change over time as we expand out. We also queued up some buildings for setting up a temporary bedroom for our duplicates. We are planning on setting up a more permanent base here that has a little bit of fancier bedrooms than our original one. But for now, we just want to have a place for Sai and Chrono to sleep at the end of the day. So we are going to dig out just a small area to enclose a barracks. And then we'll also get a mess hall set up. But we want to prioritize getting down here to get the setup for the natural gas geyser set up. So to do that, we need a few more supplies from our main colony. So first things first, we're going to want to do some steel. I only need, let's do 2.4 tons. 3 tons. That way we have enough for cables and everything too. So we're going to have duplicates bring that over. We also want some plastics. That we only need, we'll do the same amount. And then we're going to bring down some barbecue. Let's just do 20 kilograms to start. So we have these set up with high priority, so our duplicates will go and collect them from where they need to collect them and bring them to us. And then once they have done that and these are all full, we'll activate the conveyor loader to empty these out. As a matter of fact, what I think we should do is close this room just for the future. So what I can do is drop all the items on the floor, but make it so that duplicates can't come back in to get them, so that while we are transporting them over, we have a little more control over that. So I'll put a door on here, so once we get the items all loaded up, we can lock the door and drop all the items on the floor and let the auto sweeper do its job of pulling everything into the conveyor system. Looks like we have our... Oh man, that did not change. I do not want 20 tons, but 1 in 3,000. Did I do the same for the plastic? It's fine. We can send extra over. Ain't no problem. Alright, so while that's filling up, we'll go back over to Gurgani. Looks like we have our bedroom set up, but there is flooding going on, so let's get that tile removed. Once we get the power set up, sorted, we're going to start collecting all the polluted water and water together, sorted out, and we'll do some ethanol storage. Probably going to do some stuff with that as well. And then we're going to work on getting this cool slush geyser set up so that we can collect the polluted water from that to use for feeding our crops, because we're going to set up a little farming plot here on Gurgani. We have a few new crops here that we can grow, and we could just transport the seeds back across to our main colony, but I think it would be more interesting to set up some farms here and then transport the crops across. Let's get these rooms cleaned up so that we don't have problems with soggy feet. Definitely having some lag from the autosaves, but just have to deal with that for the time being. Okay, I'm going to finish getting this area cleaned out and get the items transferred over from the main base, and I'll come back once we have our initial setup for the natural gas system. Got some materials from our main colony brought over and got used to set up coal generator, some automation, and now we have a skill scrubber. So we're going to put Sai in here because his stress is shooting through the roof. So what the skill scrubber does is takes the duplicate till they forget all their skills, which for our purposes is good because Sai has way too much research. You know, he can only support 16 morale, and he is using 27, so that's stressing him out like crazy. But there's a lot of things in here that we don't need at the moment. We're gonna put him into digging. We don't need to worry about his exosuit at this moment, or mechatronics, because we're not setting any of that up yet. We'll probably, he starts with critter ranching 1, so he'll keep that. We'll probably put him into just 1 level of cooking as well, so that we can start getting a food system set up here. Though I don't know if we're going to need the cooking yet or not, because I haven't decided what type of food we're definitely going to use. I think we're just going to grow fog buckets for the time being, so shouldn't be okay without that. But so it's just going to take a few minutes while we shake him senseless, and then his skills will all be reset and we can start from scratch. In the meantime, we're getting this area sealed up, and we're going to get power run down to those gas pumps, and we'll get a storage for the gas set up so we can start clearing out the gas that escaped from inside the base as well. So I'll be back once we get a little more setup done. We've gotten our first printing here on the new colony. We set up a mini pod, which is like a portable version of the printing pod from the main colony that we could build wherever we want. For now, we just set it up in the middle, but we could change that later. we're going to see what duplicates we have to bring in. So this one is nice because they have super duper hard digging, but I don't really like the allergy to floral scents. It's a pain to deal with. This one has increased science, which is really nice, and the decreased strength isn't too big of a deal. We can overcome that. So we're gonna bring in this duplicate, and just going along with the theme that we have, we're naming this duplicate Axel. So welcome to the colony. We already have a bed set up for a duplicate, but we're gonna add in another one so that we're ready by the time the next printout is available. Though I don't think we're going to expand this one too fast. We are working to make a collection pit down here at the bottom for all the liquids, because we're going to have some spilling down. I want to... let's see. I want to dig out another level. And I want to prioritize all this so that they get this dug out before they do the ceiling. So I want to have somewhere for everything to go. We're still transferring some barbecue over from the main side. I think we're going to go over and stop that because we don't want to bring over too much until we have somewhere to store it. So all we're going to do there is turn off pulling it here, and so nothing will get transferred over. And that's a nice thing about this system. All I have to do is select anything I want to put over to the other colony here. Duplicates will bring it in, and then the auto sweeper will send it on its way. You just have to be careful not to forget about it, because it'll just keep sending it until you stop it. Okay, so we should have duplicates down here digging out our new water pit, which is good. So we'll just dig off this top layer, and then we'll go dig out the top here to finish the mess hall, which is our next goal. Once we do that, we should have enough morale for all of our duplicates here to get started doing the things we want to do. I'm also hoping to clear out to get space to build an infinite gas storage right above this geyser, like I did on the other colony. So let me put in a few tiles here to push this. I don't need to use insulated tile for that. Cancel this. Make those priority 7 as well. So that once they make their way across, they will build that wall there. So yeah, I should cancel this block. Make sure this one is put in first. Just to make sure that water gets pushed back instead of falling down into our filter. Or our liquid lock, I mean. Right now, this has enough liquid in it to stop anything from getting out. This is all just what escaped while I was building it. We'll get a pump in here to get that all sorted out once we have some storage set up. Ooh, we're very close to the top of that geyser. I'm going to use the... I already did look at it, but let's see what this is. This is a cobalt volcano. That'll be interesting to set up that later. Okay, so I'll get this a pit finished and get the mess hall finished, and then we will come back and once we have started building the gas storage over here. I have decided to bring a fourth duplicate over via teleport from the original colony. He's one of our newer colonists, Otto. While we were getting things set up here, I decided to bring over the materials I need to make an exosuit dock. And we're slowly working up the morale so that we can get our duplicates on this side trained with up to exosuit wearing so that we are good to go with that. We mopped out the entire base so that they have a little bit of a more livable place to live. And we have made it so that they cannot go down into this area without an exosuit for the moment. Just need to get this all finished up. So that it's all sealed. And then we'll get this finished being built. But I think that for now, that's going to do it for today's episode because we're running a little long. So during the next one, we'll work on getting permanent power solution set up here, and then we'll start working on our farm. So I hope you enjoyed watching it, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.